Big news coming out of the state capitol today. State Treasurer Bill Lockyer says if a solution to the state's budget crisis isn't found soon, $5 billion in public works projects will grind to a halt within 2 weeks. You see that right here. That means thousands of layoffs and delays, construction projects, all put on hold all over the state. And State Controller John Chung is telling us that the state could run out of money by March and be forced to issue IOUs for only the second time since the Great Depression. Today's warnings come as legislators and Governor Schwarzenegger wrestle with a state budget deficit that is expected to climb to more than $28 billion over the next 19 months. Crawford's Jonathan Bloom live down in Sacramento with the very latest on what's going on, the budget deficit and the battle over what to do, Jonathan.
That's right, Chris. And after a session today, lawmakers say they can't stick their heads in the sand anymore. Both houses met together, and all of the state's top money managers stood in front of them and told them just how bad the problem is and why they need to work so quickly to solve it.
None of us can be in denial now. We cannot deny the severity of this crisis. We cannot walk away from today and say we only have a $4 or $5 billion problem.
The Assembly Speaker spoke after a rare joint meeting of both houses of the state legislature, where top bureaucrats spelled out a forecast of very imminent financial doom.
In 9 days, when the Pooled Money Board next meets, we'll be forced to start shutting down planned expenditures for highways, schools, flood controls, and other things.
Make no mistake, a delay in action would be catastrophic.
As brand new freshman lawmakers settle into their seats, they're inheriting a stalemate whose roots are as old as the two-party system. Democrats point the finger at Republicans,
who have all signed pledges that they'll never, under any circumstances, raise a tax, even in times of emergency. Then it's on them to show us how they're going to find $28 billion in cuts that won't destroy the state of California.
Republicans insist cuts and taxes are not the only options.
I'm going to continue to push to sell off a number of properties, San Quentin, the LA Coliseum. I think there's a number of out-of-the-box solutions that it's time that we consider.
But Democratic Speaker Karen Bass is getting impatient.
We can't just come up with temporary measures like we did a few months ago. We have to come up with stable cuts and stable revenues.
And Speaker Bass is asking Republicans to reach across the aisle and compromise with Democrats. She wants the two sides to come up with a plan that's 50% taxes and 50% program cuts in order to meet that budget shortfall. The governor has imposed a 45-day mandate for lawmakers to solve the problem by the 14th day of January. Speaker Bass remains optimistic. She says she thinks the two sides can reach an agreement by Christmas. Live in Sacramento, Jonathan Bloom, KRON 4 News.